Hello! This is my first time ever reading one of my books out loud. This is Dragon Hero Seiryu. The time before he was supposed to get his mutation back, he was pale and had not grown an inch due to him being a half-dragon. He would get a boost in energy when he was in the sun, and his skin would be brighter. But besides that, he would get weird cravings like he wanted to eat fruit or even climb trees. But that's besides the point. He thought it was normal, but he was wrong. Prologue. When the moon was at its peak, under there lay a dark greenish egg with multiple other colors on it. It glowed once the moonlight touched it, gaining a moon marking on it. But this was far from over. This egg you were seeing is a Rainwing, Nightwing, and Icewing hybrid egg. This is the start of their life. There in the clearing stood a half-dragon that was walking into the area. They did not know where their egg was. They were desperately and frantically trying to retrieve it. The half appearance was of multiple features of multiple dragons. She had a green frill that went to her chin to her ears and horns. She had green freckle-like scales littering her face, under her eyes and above her eyes and near her ears. Her tail, wings, and horns were a dark green, seemingly like her hair. Her hair was done up in a bun, and the little strands of it hanging off her hair into loops. She had little spikes going up her spine and ending with it going into her shirt. The tail is also curved into itself, like the tribe known as Rainwings. The tip of her tail was covered in jagged icewing spikes that are at the tip of her tail. Her wings were also very big, yet very majestic. Wings that were 10 feet long and 4 feet thin, almost as big as a statue. Her name is Inko Midoriya, and she placed her egg out into the moonlight for it to get mind-reading or some other kind of quirk. At the same time as the other powers that dragonets at 4 years old age get, but in human years it's like between the ages of 13, 14, and 16. But if her little dragonet wants to be a hero, he or she can. When dragonets hatch, they are human, but they receive markings right after they hatch. Seeing as he is going to hatch right now, Inko thought, as she bent down to her precious bundle of happiness, that is her egg. But as soon as she did, the egg began to hatch. A hole cracked open to reveal a hand that had a claw-like nails on his hand. Then 2 more holes cracked open to reveal long, sharp horns just like Inko's. Inko was literally crying, not because she was sad, but because she was happy for her new son. As her dragonet fully hatched, she could see what she wanted to name her little one. Inko proceeded to pick the little one and hug him to her chest. But her train of thought was interrupted by her little one when he started to cry, and she ended up shushing the little one and thinking up. She thought up the name Izuku. Yeah, Izuku Midori, she said. Well, Izuku's seemingly to calm down. But she knew she had to hide his dragonish features from him. She thought, as she used her quirk called Animus on him, she began to speak in the old tongue of dragon. Inko began to say. I enchant this dragonet did not show any signs of being of the world dragon family of old, Inko said, while hovering her hand over the dragonet's forehead. Until he is of the age of 15, Inko said. Her eyes were glowing a bright mint green. Then after that happened, she did the same to herself and hid her dragon features from the world for 15 years. Inko then started to cry, knowing her little one would be bullied and hurt by the other kids, being, how I should say, having mutation features of all 3 dragon tribes. Or, perhaps, he could find out about little Izuku. Not that is a problem, but when Darkstalker emerges, Izuku will probably be at the U8 hero course. The years go on, and Izuku is getting stronger and thinner. When Izuku is at the age of 4, he got a really bad fever, and that told of Izuku getting his quirk. Not before a fever worried his mother, Inko Midoriya. She felt Izuku's forehead, and yep, he was sick. But then suddenly his fever got worse than before. He was burning up. That's when Inko realized that Izuku was developing one of his quirks. Inko decided to put her precious dragonet under his blanket and get a rag for his forehead. Inko decided to run a rag under cold water. Then, as Inko started to walk into the living room, she saw Izuku's hair started to change color. Then suddenly, fire came spurting out of Izuku's mouth. Slowly but surely it died down. And his fever died down as well. It's been hours since Izuku's fever has gone down, and he is still not woken up. Until an hour later, Inko is busy doing dishes when her precious bundle of joy that is a half-dragon had woken up and was calling his mother. Inko smiled as she went up to her little Izu. What is it, Izu? Inko asked while bending down to her son's level. Mama, did I get my quirk? Izuku asked, while rubbing his eyes from the long nap. Inko smiled and then nodded and started to tear up. Izuku, seeing his mom cry, got worried, but brushed off and told him Inko was all right. To be continued. I hope you liked this.